Hello. Well, after a few technical issues, I've decided I will go live on Facebook. This is the first time I've done it, but the projects that I've chosen today are so good that I felt I needed to share them with you. So let's go and see what I'm going to show you today. Right. Good. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the Enduring Beauty set with the matching masks. Okay, so I'm starting off with a piece of basic white normal cardstock, and I'm going to cut a second layer. So I'm going to cut it at 9.5 by 13.8 centimeters, which in letter size that is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Now this image does need a very large block. So I'm using black Memento to stamp it up. And as I don't have a pad underneath it, I'm going to use one of our pads and I'm going to stamp it. Now, this stamp set also has 5 masks that come with it. And each one has a notch in the tops so you can line it up and they're numbered. So I'm going to start by lining this up. You can use sticky tape to hold it in place so it doesn't move. And I'm going to use Highland Heather to colour it in. So I start outside of it and then just go over the mask. And what is good about the masks is that you don't waste any ink that would have soaked up on the paper had you used your brush on the had you used the brush on a piece of scrap paper before you put it on the stencil. Okay. So that's stencil 1. Stencil 2 is the leaves. So we'll line it up. And using Granny Apple Green ink, I'm going to do the same again, but do it for the leaves this time. And what's nice is, being as it's a floral image, doesn't matter if you have some darker or lighter, because as you know, nature is not all the same. Okay. Now the next stencil is to add highlights to the flowers. So just line it up. And I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape to add darker highlights. Like so. And then the fourth one adds highlights to the leaves. And you might not be able, hopefully you see there are a few little stems that have not been coloured when we used the leaf one before. So you should get the right, bring the brush out the way. And I'm using Old Olive for this one. Like so. Now the fifth one does the middles of the flowers, but which is then like so I did one before using the middles, and you see this was with Pecan Pie, and it just adds a bit of a brown highlight to them, but I actually prefer them without it. So I'm not going to use that one. And then to make the card, I'm going to take a piece of basic white thick cardstock, and I'm going to score it at 10.5 centimeters. Oops, whoops. Do not use the cutter to score with. And then 14.85 we cut it at. But I'm going to carry on cutting that one off, because that will be for the other card I'm going to do. So this is my basic portrait card base, and you can get 2 from one piece of A4. So I just score the edge. Okay. And then I want to use basic grey, because it's a nice neutral colour, and it just looks really good against the coloured image. So I'm going to cut that at 10 centimeters. By 14.3. Which is 5¼ inches by 4 inches if you're using letter size card. Now I'm going to stick my matte layer straight onto my card, because I'm going to post it, so I don't want too many dimensionals behind it. Okay, and I'm going to stick this seeing which way I think looks better. I think that way. Okay. And I'm just going to add some bling to it. I'm going to go for diamonds, I think. Sparkly gems. Now, I have this lovely Take Your Pick tool that has a putty end, which is ideal for picking up gems. Put one there, one there. And that's my finished card. Okay, it's the first one. Now, the next card I want to do is, this time I have embossed my basic grey cardstock matte layer with the crisscross hatched embossing folder from the basic 3D embossing folders set. So I'm going to just, and I can never decide which way it should actually go because both sides look really nice. I'm going to go for the rough edge on top. Stick that on a portrait card base again. And it doesn't matter whether you score them before you stick the stuff down or after you've finished or part way through. Now this one I coloured in same colours for the leaves, but I use Lemon Lolly for the main flower with Calypso Coral for the highlights. And I'm going to add dimensionals to this one. Now I have a confession to make. In 15 years, I have never run out of my large foam pads until now. So, but I've got loads of these mini ones, so I'm going to be using those up instead. This means I use a bit more, but that's okay. So I'm just going to stick them all round. Like so. And some people just do it like that, but in the UK, our postal system would actually squish it down, so we need to add some in the middle as well. Just so they don't sag in the middle. And if you have trouble taking off your sticky back, some people I know mark their foam pads, so they get like a blending pen or a marker, and they just draw a line over them so they show up when you take them off. Like so, so you can see whether you have removed it or not. Now I use my nails to take off the sticky stuff. Oops. Or you can use one of our take your pick ends to take it off, like so. But I find it's easier using my nails. I think that's all of them off. No, just a couple more. And then I will touch it up here, because I will add a sentiment to this. So from one of the cut off strips, when I cut down my layers, I've got a basic white card strip, and I'm going to be using the Embrace the Beauty of You as my sentiment. So I'm going to get my matte back, shift that out the way a bit. Black ink, black Memento ink, and then I'm going to do that on the scrap piece first. Not just check it because it's a brand new stamp. Sometimes you have to give them a wipe beforehand, which I think I will have to do, because they sometimes have a bit of film on it from when they're manufactured. So it's just literally a quick spray with my Stampin' Mist and my Stampin' Scrub mat, and we'll try it again. That's better. Right, so make sure it's all linked up nicely. Stamp it. Using the bigger block means I can actually see where, oops, it stamped it. So I'm going to cut that down. Tinsy bit off that end. And then I'm going to raise that on embossing on Dimensionals foam pads. Again, making sure that I don't get any soggy middles. I'm going to just put it like so, and then again add some diamonds to it. There. And I always do odd numbers because it looks better. There we go. Now the final card I'm going to show you is one that I was sent by my Upline Queen Pip, and it's an easel card, and it looks really complicated, but it is actually quite simple. So we have the standard card base again, but this time, as well as scoring at 10.5 inches, I've scored at 6. So I've got a slightly smaller fold there. Okay. I then need a basic white thick layer, so I can then stick that onto there. So we get in the mechanism. So to ensure that I glue in the right place, I'm going to glue on the card base. And pop it on, lining it up. That was not clever. Just got a paper cut. And as it's white, I really don't want it to go on my card. So just grab a quick plaster. So I've cut a basic grey matte layer that I'm going to put on the front and also on the inside. So I've got 2 of those. Like so, and on the inside. So there, just check I've got it right way round. And then I've got a basic white matte layer, which this time is 13.8 centimeters by 9.5, or 5 inches by 3.34 if you're using letter. And I'm just going to glue that in. Like so. So we've got the basic layout now. Now, for this one, I did the leaves in, I can't remember which colour it was now. I've got it written down somewhere. And bubble bath, and then fresh freesia for the flowers, old olive for the leaves. I think that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And then obviously pecan pie for the middles. Okay, in this one I'm going to put, just going to go sideways. It's going to go that way. Make sure we get the right way around. So it's going to go sideways. I think that was better like that. So I'm going to stick that on. so. Okay, and now I need to make a bit here that stops the card from falling down. So again, I'm going to use the same size piece of white card, which is approximately 2 centimeters, and the same sentiment. And again, lining it up like so. Pink pen. I'm going to trim it down a bit. And now I do need to have a matte lay for this, because it's going to go on white. So I need some basic grey cardstock. And as this one I said was roughly 2 centimeters, I'm going to cut, let's just check how wide it is, about 6.5. So I'm going to do 7 centimeters by 2.5. Oops, this could be a bit tight because there's not much to hold it down. That'll do nicely. So I'm going to stick the sentiment onto the matte layer. Like so. Let it dry for a bit. And then I need to stick on dimensionals to raise it up. And then I want it to go somewhere like that in the middle. Take off the foam pads. Right, so I need to line that up in the middle. I'm going to use the lines to help me as well. Just go roughly back there. There. And there is my card. So it stands up. I can write my sentiment there, and then that will just fold everything again. Okay, so I have done 3 cards. I know I've done 3. Yeah, here it is. 3 cards today. So one with very simple layers. It still looks very nice. One using the dies and an embossed background, and a simple easel card. Now, with the stamp set, the dies and the masks, if you purchase them, you will be able to get one of our free celebration products, because the bundle is £48.50. So for every £45 you spend, you get to choose a celebration item. So so if you want to order them, you can go via my website, with all the details will be there. So let's just come back. So that's my 3 cards I made. Hopefully next week this will be better done than it is currently now, but I have gone live and it's the first time for me. So thank you for watching. Take care and see you next week. Bye.